What up, y'all? This is Shonda.
And Nate.
And you are listening to
Baycast.
Baycast. Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
All right. I just feel like that.
That ain't going nowhere.
I
That's
know.
like my favorite.
It just increases each episode. Like I gotta turn my headphones down.
I think it's the clarity in this room. Like, I can hear it so clear that I had to do it that way.
A shameless flex right there.
Yeah. Not really. I ain't trying to flex. But
what's happening? What's going on?
Hey, y'all. How are y'all doing? First of all, I know it's been crazy for everybody. We won't, spend too much of this episode talking about what's going on right now in the country.
World.
But in the world. But I know a lot of people are going through stuff, whether it be, uncertainty in the job, in the social atmosphere, whatever. Like, I just know it's a lot going on, especially with this administration. So we just want to give y'all good vibes, tell you to keep your head up and keep on pressing. It's not easy for none of us, so we in this together.
Yeah, what Kendra say, we gonna be all right.
We are. We definitely are. And so a little update. First of all, shout out to all of y'all who showed love on our sneak peek of our photo shoot.
Thank you. Yeah.
Nate took a little bit of the video footage y'all saw, and our photographer took some footage. Shout out to Deanna James Photography in Columbus, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
She did amazing. What y'all didn't see was a lot of the different looks that Nate did, because Nate, y'all saw he had two looks. Y'all saw one of them in the sneak peek at the end of the video, but he also was a part of that leather look that you saw. So look forward to that. He looked really nice.
Yeah. No, it was definitely nice. So y'all wasn't trying to have y'all revealing and whatnot, but I mean, I get it. Artistic taste, I should say, but
yeah. And I feel like reveal in a maternity shoot is totally different from reveal in, other types of shoots. Like, I was telling Nate, it was literally all belly. Like, you could barely see anything.
Yeah. So, no, it was cool. I enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see what the results will be. So, yeah.
How was your how did you enjoy the overall experience of the photo shoot from your perspective?
I think it was cool. I mean, she told me I was just a natural, so I mean, it just worked out that way. So
one thing about Nate is he is super photogenic. So like, he can't really take a bad photo. If he take a bad photo, he playing.
Yeah. No, but it was cool. It was like she gave us, the directions and everything. I was just trying to make sure that I was just trying to look good, make the picture, not trying to break the camera and nothing. So job well done.
Another thing is like, kudos to you, because you definitely got ready and like we got on the road. Like, your timing yesterday was amazing.
Oh,
because sometimes you can mosey.
I knew it was something else.
But no, I'm not trying to come down on you, because for real, like, we both can mosey sometimes. But I just had to point out the fact that you were really on point with timing yesterday. And like, I got my makeup done by Asia, Fearless Faces, love her. And she did an amazing job. Like, Asia is fam. So I hit her up to see if she could do my makeup, because I wanted like a natural look. I didn't want it to be too glammy. It was like a soft glam. That's what it ended up being, but I didn't want it to be overboard. So I explained to her kind of the vision, and she was like, yeah, you can come through. So we pulled up over there. She did my makeup. We were able to like catch up and chit chat as a family. Nate dropped me off initially to go get us some breakfast. So
yeah, and gas. I needed to get gas. It was on E.
Yeah, so everything just flowed smoothly, and it was just a good day. Like, I feel like yesterday was so much fun. Our photo shoot, we got it done. We went and got a new camera.
Yep. That one right there.
We went and got a new camera because we're really getting into podcasting, not just getting back to our stuff, but we've got people who are currently reaching out for a podcast. We have people we're producing podcasts for. So we've talked about it before. It's very important to invest in your craft. And we don't just say that, we do it as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, it might hurt the pockets. I mean, it don't really, but I mean, at the same time, it's like you might think it might hurt the pockets, but it's actually making the production that you produce better in the long run. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I like the, consistency with the camera. So
Yeah, one thing Nate loves is new gadgets for sure. And I feel like
hmm
with I always said that like he taught me how to invest in myself. Like you were the one that made me be like, why do I be holding out on buying stuff for myself? Like why do I in terms of like just the craft, like craft focus because before Nate and I started dating, I already was doing podcasting. I had my on the mic podcast under AOD and I was doing well. It was strictly audio, but I had the bare basic equipment initially, and then watching him work. It wasn't even him telling me directly, but seeing how he led in his business with like his equipment, I was like, okay, when you need a piece of equipment, you just need it. Like, just make it easier on yourself because it'll save you time. It'll sound better, and then at the end of the day, the product is gonna speak for itself.
yeah, because I ran into the issue of potentially trying to rent stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm not trying to rent nothing because I always had that mindset like if I want something, I'm gonna own it. So like start off with a camera, and like instead of when I book gigs, I wanted to make sure I had a camera that ready to go. I ain't had to rent it out or ask nobody to borrow nothing or whatever. Same thing with lights, same thing with audio. So like that was just the mindset going forward, starting a business. Just if I want it, buy it, work for it. If you don't have the money right
Hmm.
then and there, but then when you do, get it, own it, you done with it. So
Yeah. And, take care of everything else. So, like, if you have expensive equipment, if you have, I said equipment, expensive equipment, if you have nice things, make sure that you have insurance.
yeah,
Make sure that if you're a homeowner, make sure you have homeowners insurance. If you're renting, obviously, a lot of places won't even let you rent without renter's insurance, but just make sure your stuff is insured, not just the insurance on the, um, piece of equipment because sometimes they don't cover theft. But if you got homeowners insurance, if you have renter's insurance, auto insurance, you should be covered if God forbid something happened to your equipment, and that happened before. So
yeah. So learn from your mistakes and
yeah. And
keep
when it did
pushing.
happen, it was unfortunate, but Nate was able to get everything back that he lost. So
Yeah. Ooh, don't want to think about that. That
yeah.
ooh.
And we don't got to get into it, but I did want to share that because that was a long time ago, first of all. Let's be clear. Like, this was when me and Nate first started dating.
Mm-hmm.
But I only mention it because I really want to share stuff that we've learned and I want people to understand how to put themselves in better situations.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're going to encourage you to invest in your equipment, then we need to also encourage you to like
Protect it.
protect that equipment.
Yeah, for sure.
So speaking of the maternity shoot, we're also in process of planning our baby shower,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm actually excited about. It's weird because I feel like I've been in like a very like lethargic. Why is that funny?
Because that makes a lot of sense.
Shut
You
up.
head in the clouds, just
Yeah, I really feel like I've been in a very lethargic mood, and that's not a bad thing. But for those who know what lethargic means, or if you don't, it's like um, you're kind of just floating through, like you're just in la la land half the time, and I feel like I've been that way, but it's
mhm.
probably because, I've been blessed to have like a very smooth pregnancy. So like people have all these pregnancy stories and everybody's is different. But for me, it's like I have had such a smooth pregnancy. I haven't had the things that you hear about, like morning sickness, um,
Thank goodness.
not being able to keep food down and
Yeah.
uncomfortability. Like I've just really been blessed to have like such a smooth pregnancy up to this point. And so it's just like anything else where you hear all these things. So you're anticipating, you're preparing, you're getting your mind ready for this experience. And then it's like, it feels like it doesn't feel like what you expected. So
Yeah.
I think that's why it's just been like not sinking in. And I think I'm getting excited now with the maternity shoot and now this baby shower because they're close and that's actually starting to sink in. Like
Yeah.
the maternity shoot was amazing.
It's happening.
And then the baby shower, I'm sure, will be amazing. And the beautiful thing is, we don't have to worry about it.
That's what it really was. You
No,
like,
because I would plan, but I'm learning to not do that in every instance. And I really appreciated that through the wedding process, because having the support of bridesmaids and family to kind of take some of the lift, even though we did a lot of that,
Mm-hmm.
was very helpful.
Yeah.
And with the baby shower, I think it's just even more, because we're literally not doing anything for our baby shower. Like, we got the venue, and I gave my mom the go ahead to be like, pull in the troops. Let me know what y'all need. I don't want to have to deal with planning.
Mm.
So
Thank
shout
you.
out to my mom. Shout
Thank you,
out
Mama.
to Nate's mom. Shout out to our sisters, who I'm sure are going to dig in and help. Brothers, brother-in-laws, like anybody that's going to be on the crew. Martina.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of y'all, because we really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate y'all very much. We looking forward to it for sure, for sure.
Yes, and it's going to be co-ed, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, because it was funny because I had folks at work and like, oh, are you going to be in attendance at the baby shower? Which I forgot that it used to be, primarily female. Like
Which is crazy. I feel like it should have always been co-ed, but
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, shoot, forgive me. It's my first time going through this, so I was like, I don't know. But I mean, but other folks has done co-ed as well, so I always thought, I mean, yeah, why not? But yeah, I had several people ask me, I'm like, you gonna be there? Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Yeah. I got the invite, so
I designed our invites and I love them. I always try to design the flyers for the things that we do, and I really love the invite. And for those who are invited, you've seen it, and yeah, your girl did that.
I came up with the bear idea.
Yes, Nate did suggest adding bears, because I wanted to avoid the bears, because our theme is not the We Can Barely Wait theme. And so I didn't want to throw in a bear.
I was not even thinking that.
But no, I know you weren't. But like, for me, I was. Because like, that was what everybody pitched to me. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, no knocks to it. It's a beautiful theme. But like, I always try to like put my own spin on stuff. And because of our baby's name, we wanted to go with like a woodland theme. For those of you who know the name, you know it. If you don't, you'll find out. But
ooh. Ooh, tease.
But bears make sense, because like, you see bears in the woods. We had like foxes on there, and rabbits, deer. So it's just like a really cute invitation. And
lions, tigers, bears on mine.
And it took some thought, so I was proud of it. But yeah.
No, well, yeah, when you mentioned that barely wait, I'm like, I never, even when I suggested, I didn't even think about that at all. I thought about it. I was like, mama bear, papa bear,
yeah,
baby cub, But,
and it makes sense, because you saw the graphic when it was almost complete without the bears. So I could imagine you were thinking about actual like bears, not like little cutesy little like whatever. Yeah. Like, so
80-20.
80-20 what? Oh,
you
20?
Yeah. Okay. Unless you want to give me 40-60.
20 on me.
See, fellas.
But no, I did. Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Welcome.
But speaking of, I didn't want to get lost on the fact that with the baby shower, with the maternity shoot, and just finally getting to the point where it's really starting to sink in for me. I actually caught myself getting sad yesterday.
Why?
Not yesterday, like during the day, throughout the day, but when I woke up in the morning and I was just laying there, I was kind of sad, because I was like, oh, we really about to not be two no more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely.
Like, we've been rocking and rolling. Now we about to be three, which is, it's the sadness came, but then it was overcome with joy. Like, of course, I'm joyful to be bringing a boy into this world, bringing our first child into this world.
Bringing a child in this world together.
Yes, it's exciting, but it was sad, because I was like, oh man, like just thinking back, reminiscing on our like
adventures.
Yes.
The impromptu trips. Yeah. New York and everything. And yeah, because that's what I was thinking about earlier when I was sending out the, videos and stuff from the past to Morgan, Ralph, and you, and just like, man.
Yeah.
Whew, just going down memory lane, boy, I tell you.
But I'm super excited. Like, there's literally way more excitement than sadness. But I really had to acknowledge that, because I'm like, man, we've been like ace. I want to say ace boom coom.
All right, Kendra.
I've said that before, Kendrick.
Yo, what they got to do with the price of cheese? You be saying a lot of
I know.
stuff.
I just didn't want to sound old, but for real, we've been like rocking. So like, it just was a testament to like that beauty of that, like how we could just, get up and go. Or I say, hey babe, I got this going on this weekend, and you just, all right, let's go, like let's
Yeah.
do it. And it's been some outlandish stuff. So I really was like, damn, it's the end of an era, low key. Like, not to say,
Mm,
and you know me, I'm not the one that's like, oh, you have a kid and everything is over. Like,
mm,
that's not the case. That's not what I'm
yeah.
thinking. But it's just thinking about how I was previously so sporadic sometimes, and like planning stuff, signing us up for stuff, and
Yeah. Always on go. And then so I was like, man, you need to slow down. But
yeah,
it was a good thing though because it got me out of my comfort zone. But I feel like that's what we're alike in so many ways, but then we also are different. And like if you on go, I'm usually probably like, all right, let's slow it down. But if I'm on
yeah,
go, you tell me to slow it down. So it's like it's a nice balance. It complements each other.
yeah. And I
So,
appreciated the slowdown that you gave me. Like, I really
we
did.
needed that. I'm like, babe, wait a minute, wait a minute. I was like, let's take a seat.
Like, I was one of them people, and I still could be, but I'm one of those people who I thrive in chaos sometimes. Like,
That's terrible. I mean, I get
not
it.
in chaos like relationship chaos or like relational chaos, not like that, but like I thrive when I'm like, the more on my plate, the more pressure, the more I thrive.
You want to be a diamond? I mean, like, yeah.
But I'm like, that was how I operated. But then when Nate came into my life and he started encouraging, like, hey, you should kind of like
Slow it down.
slow down. You shouldn't do as much on every weekend, and you don't got to go to everything. Once I started to hear him and really like apply that, it was the best thing ever. So like, I did thrive in that high pressure environment, but at some point you burn out, and everybody who's experienced burnout, all the girlies who talk about burnout, I haven't talked to a lot of men about burnout, but I know y'all experience it. I
Mm-hmm.
know you've experienced it.
Yeah,
I really appreciate the slowdown now, because going slower does not mean you're stopping. It
yeah,
doesn't mean you're less productive. It just means that you're, I feel like, more productive. Like,
yeah. Because you actually have a moment to sit back and reflect on what it is that you've already done. You can sit back and plan for the future, and you can also just be still and recharge your battery so that you have the energy and the mindset to move on to the next project. Because when you go into a new project with a foggy mind and no plan at all,
yeah,
that can create chaos that you can't thrive in.
right.
So
And I seen a post on social media that literally was like, rest is productive. And that's the truth. Like, sometimes you can feel like you're getting a lot done when you're just always going, but you would probably be getting even more done, or what you do work on, the connections you make, the projects you're on are more impactful, or they reach more people because they're worked on with such a more careful eye. Like, you're not able to really be super efficient when you're rushing. Like, and that's not to say rush jobs don't get the job done, because sometimes you got to rush. But taking your time is very, it's essentials, and not just essential for the project, it's essential for the person.
yeah,
Like, rest is productive.
yeah. And then on the flip side, you don't want to rest too much because not rest too much because you might not get things done. No, you
Yeah.
won't get things done,
Yeah.
and then you can begin to settle. So
Yep.
again, it's always a balance.
Yeah. It's a balance, and you got to really know how to gauge it and when to turn it up, when to turn it down, for real, because it's like, there's times when I would be frustrated with myself because I'm like,
Mm.
have you gotten into a rut, or do you just need to rest?
Yeah,
But I think when you are in a rut versus you just need to rest, because you have to ask yourself, did you get anything completed, or what are your priority items? And so we've really put into practice making lists for ourselves, like,
yeah,
what do I want to get done within this time frame? And it's not endless list that you just keep adding to. Like, for me, I like to do it week by week. So
mm.
what are my projects for the week that I need to get done? And then I even break it down daily from there, where it's like, what 3 things can I get done throughout my day?
Mm.
As long as I get those things done, I might have other things that pop up or things I want to tackle, but you cannot get everything done because everybody wants everything to be a priority. And I think it helps you communicate better because when you have clients or people who reach out to you for work and they're like, hey, can you get this done? Just saying yes is not going to work. You have
Mm-mm.
to say yes. You have, or no, if it's not a project you want to take. But if you say yes, you have to give a timeline. You have to um, set real expectations. And I'm still working on that because sometimes I do not set real expectations. And it falls back on me because then if I have a client expecting something from me and they're frustrated, I'm like, how you going to be frustrated at me? You reached out to me yesterday. But I didn't communicate that this wasn't getting done
Mm.
tomorrow. Like I should have, like in those moments, I need to make sure that I'm always clear of, at minimum, the turnaround time is this. If you want something done expeditiously and if it can be done, because not everything can be done. Sometimes you got to be like, this is not going to work. You might have to go through somebody else because my turnaround time with the projects I got cannot hit that deadline. But even if you can, there's an increase in price for an expedited project because then you have to push back projects that you already have deadlines for. So
Yeah. It
we
just
learning.
yeah. It just remind me of 3 things that um like no, it remind me, I forget who told me, but it's 3 things that you would like implement as far as like, provide service to a client. It's gonna be quality, cheap, and how quick you can get
Yeah.
it done. So, if you want cheap and quick, it ain't gonna be quality.
Right.
And then like you ain't gonna get all 3.
Right.
So that's the main point. Like you're not gonna get all 3, but like you can choose out of the 3 which 2 you want. If you want quick and quality, it ain't gonna be cheap.
Right.
So, just pick what you want, but just letting
Yeah.
folks know that's what we gotta let clients know. But hey, that's how it operates, man.
And you also have to keep in mind your personal time, your obligations outside of work.
Mm,
Like,
yeah,
because that's something I think we've done real well with this year. Because we used to, me and Nate, like, especially when we were both just full time with no additional obligations, like, because now we work full time and we have our businesses.
and we about to have a baby.
We used to be just full time entrepreneurs, no additional work coming in, and we were at home all the time.
Hmm.
So our environment was, we was having fun. Like we would watch TV together. We would, run to the store together, do all those things that we still kind of do. But on top of that, we were working together. Like sometimes he would be in his office, I would be in the living room or in my office area. But we were able, that was us spending time, was like working on projects together and then getting our daily tasks done.
Hmm.
Now we're in a space where it's like we want to have intentional time with us, like just us, whether it's watching TV, whether it's going to do something we like to do, obviously going to get food. I love to do that.
Having a baby. I'm.
But spending time with family, like we love our family, so
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
just a balance. You are so silly. It's just a balance in like also making sure that those things happen without it being attached to sitting on the couch with our laptops open or being in
Mm,
our offices working on stuff. It just doesn't make sense.
yeah, relationship. Put the phones down. All right, just
Yes.
put it down because I seen, and it might be oxymoron right here, but I seen scrolling. I seen it's like off a Christian based page, and it was like when if you dedicate so much time to the phone, like if you're thinking about the phone first thing you wake up or whenever throughout the day, it's like you making that phone an idol. So it's like not not only are you making the phone an idol, you are constantly staring at a screen that's messing with your eyes, and it's just going to create so many health issues like down the line, like messing with your mental. So it's just like it's okay to take a break from not just the phone but electronics. Period, and that's coming from a guy who loves
A
electronics.
scroll king. Like
No, that's no. You be scrolling.
no, and I'm saying we both have, that's another thing we've been working on in our house is we both have taken time off of the phones. Like y'all will see us post and stuff, but we're not on the phone 24/7. Like we post, we get off, we like some posts while we on there. We communicate with some folks while we on there, and we get off.
Hmm.
Even if you see that I'm active, because I know people be like, "Oh, they're active," but not to us directly. But I've heard people talk about people where they're like, people be active, but they don't be commenting, or people be active, but they don't be liking my stuff. Sometimes active can mean you done picked up your phone and put it on Facebook, but then you done put your phone on the table and maybe you didn't close the app. I don't know. I'm really falling behind the buck when it comes to
You said what? Falling behind the buck,
I'm
man.
just saying when it comes to the devices. Like I'm very savvy in a lot of things when it comes to marketing and social media, but when it comes to the latest and greatest devices, which we have the latest iPhone, I still don't fully understand the way that some of the reporting works. Like not algorithm reporting or like analytics reporting, but literally when you see that little green bubble on somebody's profile, are they on their phone? Like, or is their phone on the table? Like stuff like that. So when people get in those, when I hear that type of stuff, it just makes me really worried for people. Cause I'm like, if we are to the place where you checking when people active and you feeling some type of way, that's crazy.
Yeah, no. Social media is just the wild, wild west. It's like you can just anybody can put anything up there. Anybody can make anything look good. Anything like can happen, especially with AI and Meta.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's just like again being mindful that it is social media. It is highlights of people's experiences. Just because you see it when you're scrolling don't mean you have to have that same experience. Like even with us doing podcasts, we can look and see like, man, like that podcast doing good, why don't ours look like that? Like nope, 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 just stay in your lane, stay in your lane,
Yeah.
because it's eventually gonna happen. That moment that you'll have, that's gonna be a highlight of your day. That one day you can post on social media. Like you don't have to chase everybody's experiences, because their experience ain't yours and vice versa. So
Yeah, for sure.
do you,
And
do you.
I would say, just to add to that, with the social media is like, we definitely know the importance of social media in terms of like brand building. And some people, honestly, I think social media has just come to a point where it's just something where people go to vent. Like, and I'm not saying it in a negative way,
Oh yeah.
even though it can be negative. I'm saying it in the sense of like, some people really are attached to social media. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, I'm not trying to say like social media is just evil. There are some benefits, especially if you're somebody who's found a group that is a support group on social media and things like that. There's always the pros and the cons.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, it's just not getting sucked into devices in general. Like we make sure that we're not scrolling nonstop, because that's really just a waste of time. Like
Yeah.
scroll a little bit, check out your algorithm, support some people's posts. But being on there for hours is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then like even with us watching TV and watching our Netflix shows, we'll watch a few episodes and we may binge from time to time, but we ain't about to binge every time we watch TV.
Yeah, no. And I
The
even
game.
yeah, and I was gonna mention that too. Like I took a little hiatus. Like, man, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was supposed to take 30 days off in January. It's March. It's shit. It's about to be it's about to be April. I mean, Call of Duty, it was no stopping the duty. But I mean, I had to take a break because I kept telling myself every time, I'm like, before I got on, and I was like, bruh, I'm supposed to be taking a break. But as soon as I realized I was supposed to be taking a break, the game done started. I'm like, all right, I gotta finish the game. And then there's another game, and then another
I'm
game.
mad
So
you just said that. That's such a terrible excuse.
but yeah, I'm admitting it and I'm acknowledging it, so I'm not on it.
Yeah. And
That's
to
what I'm
be
trying to
clear,
say.
I did not ask him to take a break from the game.
Nah,
This is
it's my
something
guy.
he
What you
wants to
mean?
do.
What
Because I feel like a healthy relationship, you should be able to have your thing that you like. And
Mm-hmm.
that's always been like Nate's thing. Like he does a lot of different stuff, but like his like download time, as he would call it, would be playing a game. So
Yeah.
there's always been space for him to do that. But he, through self-reflection and things like that, wanted to just take a break. Just like everybody else, when you want to
Yeah.
fast from something. Has the fast happened? No.
Man.
But he's taking time away. Like he's definitely he's had days where he just is like away from the game. Like, but
Yeah.
also his social circle, they all play the game. And so it's like that's when they on like being on the phone with your friends, that's when they on the phone. And shout out to them. I'm not knocking y'all. It's all good over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's that. I mean, it's a progress. It's a progress.
So I guess just to close it out, what?
No, not to close it out. We mentioned too.
Oh, we ain't even talking about that.
Yeah,
Sheesh, we've been in that. We just went out on a tangent.
yeah. We back. We back. We back.
But so something we did today that we're really proud of is we've done it before, but
Yeah,
we sat down and we did our budget.
yeah. That was insightful,
Yeah.
to say the least. It was very insightful.
And I think it's hard to you think you sit down and do a budget and you're good, but no, you gotta we have to constantly look at our budget because it constantly changes. Again, we both work full time. We both have businesses on the side that are active.
Mhm.
And additional to that, our expenses change. Like
Yeah,
Nate, when he got his Jeep, that was a new expense. We knew it was coming. We knew we had it to do it, but we didn't. We still need. You still need to evaluate your budget when you get any new expense.
yeah. It's. I mean, yeah, and especially with the baby on the way. So, they like to do the baby tax and tax everything baby related. So, like diapers, phone, all that. So, it's like we had to include that.
Today is the first time I ever heard this term baby tax. He been using it.
I made it up, I guess, but it seemed
I
real.
like it. I'm mad.
I mean, sure, yeah, they tax the heck out baby stuff. But yeah, just planning for that. But the important thing of us coming together and doing that and us realizing that it is important to have a good partner to do it with because they say research or whoever, Joe Blow or whatever, they be saying how money is the main root to like splits in marriages. So it's like us coming together and actually being open in our communication about where we are financially and where like what our budget is and just having those dialogues it's you can't ask for nothing better because I'm like you last thing you want to be is like hiding money in a mattress or something from your partner or whatever and they don't know and then some stuff pop up and then it's like oh where that money come from then you build a whole distrust in the whole don't want it but yeah. I love the fact that we came together and we sat down and we had a real conversation about it and then we plan on having more conversations about it. So that's just another thing that, if you're out there looking for someone that you just have those conversations, be like, hey, it's going to be a time where we're going to have to talk about this and we might have to budget for this. Are you comfortable in talking to me about that? That credit score, like, cause
if
all
y'all
that
can't talk about finances,
you ain't got nothing to talk about.
Y'all shouldn't even be talking for real because me and Nate, we knew the gist of our finances when we first started dating. We weren't like just spilling everything to each other from day one, but like what made me more attracted to Nate was how he managed his money when we met because where he was at then and where he's at now was like not even light years, but like he showed me that you can do what you got to do with the minimum.
Little.
And that really made me like just blown away because I was like, bruh, you are over here struggling worse than him. And I wasn't like, when I say struggle, I mean like literally paycheck to paycheck. But that was the life. I mean, I was in my 20s. I was 26, 25. And I was just like, I'm watching this man manage his money so well. And so it really inspired me to manage my money better. And I did. Like, that's how you know when you meet somebody, they're the real deal. Because without y'all even being like together for a long time and, spending time, you already leveling up just because you seeing something. There's an example of something that is you're taking that in. Like if you can be with somebody who immediately they impact you in a positive way where you just looking at how they move, it's up from there. Yeah.
The secret is ramen noodles.
Shut up. But on the budgeting conversation, mm-hmm. You definitely need to be able to talk about money from the beginning.
Yeah.
It can be a small conversation in the beginning, just kind of just understanding each other's situation. And then it goes from there. And I'm not saying it has to be the first date. It does not have to be the first date.
Second or third, but
Right. But when y'all start to decide, okay, we've been spending time with each other, we want to be exclusive and stuff like that, just start to have those conversations. And then in marriage, those conversations are, everything for us is transparent. We both know what each other makes. We both know what we bring in when we come into we talk about our contracts that we close together. We talk about like the individual contracts that we close. We talk about joint contracts, like we write contracts together. If any money is coming from anywhere, we know it. And it's not because we don't trust each other. It's not because we just are that controlling. It's a partnership. Like we literally are building something. So to build together, we need to know what we're working with.
right. Because it was like, oof. But they say measure once, cut 10 times is better than measure 10 times and cut once. It's like, gotta have a. What you laughing? You gonna say, oh?
No, you just like your mama's son.
Yeah, sure.
Because your mom got a saying for everything.
Yeah, proper
her
planning.
Daddy, your granddad got a saying for everything. So I just love that. Like every time y'all throw out a saying, it just like
proper planning prevents poor performance. The 5 P's. Shout out mom. I know she gonna love that. And then granddad, you gotta learn how to think for yourself. Don't rely on anybody else to think for you. You got your own brain. Think for yourself.
Yep. All of that.
All
of that. But also with the budgeting thing, it's just like for us to do it today, we didn't know what we was going to do this weekend because we don't often get free weekends. And even though we had our photo shoot yesterday, which was Friday, it's just like that was a work day for us. So to have Saturday and Sunday off and not to have anything planned, we usually are less likely to sit down and want to crunch numbers and do a budget.
Yeah.
But we just was like having conversations and things came up and we were like, why don't we just let's do it right now. Got a composition book. Let's write it down. I know we did it before, but since the last time we did it, let's sit down, let's do it again.
Yeah.
And we did. And we really crunched the numbers across the board all the way down.
Yeah.
And it was good. Like it was dope for real because to me, it was like, every decision y'all made up to this point has been a good decision because y'all good. We just need, especially with this current administration and the price of eggs, we just need to have a set budget on certain things. Like we need a set budget on groceries.
Yeah.
We need a set budget on our leftover money because that'll tell us, okay, if all the bills are covered, groceries is covered, we got gas money, this is what we're left over with. Just with our personal finances, not including our business income. This is what we're left over with. Then this is what, say Nate want to go out to eat for lunch or go get lunch during a work day. Or if he know this 1 week where he gonna get lunch every day.
Nah, that usually be you. But.
I know, but I'm just. But what I'm saying is, then you know what your budget is for those lunches throughout the week, because that's something that people need to understand too. With working with your money, is like, it's not that you can't do other stuff with it. It's just you have to have guardrails so that you're not just splurging every time you spend. Because for me, I really am. I've done way better. But I'm that girl where if I want these shoes, I'm going to get them. If this new bag drop and it's like, it's just like caught me, like it caught my attention, I would get it. But I haven't done that in a long time. It's worse for me with shoes now. Because I love me some Dunks. I love me some cute shoes in general. But I've been doing really good with it because I also love to see my accounts accumulate. Like,
yes,
that switch happens where it's like the wants go down and the wealth goes up. And it's not saying that the wants don't matter. I think it's important to have wants and to treat yourself. But if we talk about treat yourself, that's not every time you get paid or every time money comes into your hand. You don't gotta always find a reason to treat yourself. Or if you do, there's levels to it. Treat yourself to a coffee.
Yeah. Or treating yourself could be, disciplining yourself. You treating yourself like, for the future. In the moment, you might feel like you know depriving yourself of something, but you know, as you mentioned, like wants, like just knowing what the difference is between a need and a want. Like you need to pay your bill, you want those new whatever or
Mm-hmm.
that new game or something. So it's
Yeah.
like, how is that want going to help you move forward? Like to next month or help you get through next month, because if you ain't pay that bill and they gonna cut them lights out, then you probably shouldn't have got that game. But yeah, so it's just, you know, just it's simple. Like just take a moment, just look at your, you know, priorities. I'm not gonna say finance because we not financial advisors at all. Put a description or something right here, but like just look at your priorities, your obligations, and then just, you know, prioritize that accordingly. So
Yeah.
mm,
And just in general, like the when you talk about restraint and you talk about like taking care of priorities, it's also just like a good reward to like keep your money in your pocket. And it's not
mhm,
because you need to. Like some people, they spend frivolously, they have money coming in residually and all that. But I think something that shifted my mind was I love to invest in things. And
you
that's
know,
not just
stocks.
stocks.
I do.
I do love to I am growing to love that. But I love to buy stuff of quality that's going to last longer instead of just doing quick turnaround stuff.
Mm,
I love to have, like, if I'm a purchase jewelry, I'm a purchase jewelry that's going to appreciate in value, not depreciate.
mm,
However, what I'm learning is like if I got like a photo shoot coming up and I have a specific look, if I have an event coming up and I have a specific aesthetic, sometimes it's okay to purchase some cheap jewelry that you're purchasing just for a look and a photo shoot.
mm,
I am the type of person where any piece of jewelry I buy, I wanted it to be high value that's going to appreciate. But I've learned because I'm not going to drop X amount of dollars on a chunky necklace just for this shoot that I'm only going to wear probably once or twice a year. No, I'm gonna get something that looks like that that's $15, $20 for this photo shoot. And then if it tarnishes down the road, that's fine. Like I still invest in my high quality stuff, but there's times and places for, especially when you're somebody who professionally you show up to events or
mm.
you want to do a photo shoot with your significant other or a photo shoot that's a professional shoot. It's value in sometimes getting those cheap buys for things like that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
oh, for sure.
We're learning, we're growing.
Yeah, definitely every day. But like you said, it definitely is, you know, a good, you know, good feeling of seeing, you know, money staying in your bank account instead of leaving. And, you know, that's just the trajectory that we're on. It's just, you know, get far away from the liabilities and more closer to the assets. So, and I feel like not just financially, but as far as like, I think we both did the work before getting into a relationship. Like, you know, who's going to be an asset to me, you know? And then when I do find that person, how are we going to, you know, build together like asset? How are we going to make our assets work for us once we become one? And then after that, it's like, okay, then it's just what just continually attracting, you know, assets and like positivity, like because it can just be like how can you work on yourself, like fitness or anything like that, any
Mm-hmm.
way you can
Health,
health.
prioritizing doctor's appointments, prioritizing.
I feel like you targeting me now.
No, I'm not. You did.
I
I'm proud of you for doing that, but I'm saying that is like this is our life. Like the things that we're talking about, we're really actively doing, and
yeah,
that's one of the
no,
ones. It's like prioritizing doctor's appointments, um, prioritizing, like you said, physical health, mental health,
mhm,
organization, keeping your house organized and clean.
yeah, keeping like for me definitely like keeping files, like being better at that, like working on that, and that's improved. Like knowing what, say, media files is here, like in what folder, where to go to for that, and then just like daily things, like having a journal, writing in that, just those like it. When we say invest or anybody says invest, it doesn't have to be like monetary. Like it can specifically just focusing on yourself
Yep.
and you know improving.
Yep. And I
So,
feel like just my closing thought is in general, and I think I might have even said this in the last podcast, but it's it's still that emphasis of you're going to continually get busier and busier the more focused you get. We are very focused. And so I feel like even some days recently, I've just felt like, man, I've just been so antisocial and I haven't reached out to folks. And first of all, pregnancy brain is real. It's real. They say a woman's brain gets smaller when she's pregnant. That don't mean your intelligence go down. But like your capacity to interact and stuff does change, I feel like. But not even using that as an excuse, being more focused and really having some goals and priorities will bring you in. And there's still something to be said when you do prioritize and make time for those you love, whether it's phone call, whether it's spending time going out to dinner with your folks, whatever. But at some point, you got to give yourself grace. And if you don't have if you have all these expectations, cool. But as long as your house is solid, whatever other dynamics change, sometimes it's just the unfortunate circumstance of the situation. Prioritize people, try to keep good relationships with those who do the same for you. But give yourself grace in the times where you really are laser focused on your success, your trajectory, your home. As long as the home is good, that is the main importance.
Ditto. I rock with that 100% for sure. I really do. I mean,
No, I was about to close out. Unless you got anything else.
nah, sure. We got our closing arguments, young.
Peace.
Love.
Bang.
Bake calf.